Welcome to today's lesson on representative groups. You will need a copy of your representative groups guided notes for today's lesson. The objective for today is to relate the number of balanced electrons to the groups in the periodic table and the properties of the elements in those groups. Predict the reactivity of some of the elements based on their location within a group, and identify some of the properties common A group elements. Your vocabulary for today is valence electron, alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, halogens, and noble gases. Did you ever wonder why there are two numbering schemes on the periodic table? When the A groups are numbered 1 through 8, they provide useful reminder about the electron configuration of elements in those groups. The number of A group matches the number of valence electrons in the electron configuration. A valence electron is an electron that is in the highest occupied energy level of an atom. These electrons play a key role in chemical reactions. Properties across the period vary because the number of valence electrons increases from left to right. Elements in a group have similar properties because they have the same number of valence electrons. The alkali metals. Alkali metals are the elements in group 1A of the periodic table, not including hydrogen. The reactivity of all alkali metals increases from top of the group 1A to the bottom. Concept check number 1. Explain why elements in a group have similar properties. What is the relationship between alkali metals' location in group 1A? This will be a great time to pause the video, answer the question, then resume. Concept check number 1. Explain why elements in a group have similar properties. They have similar properties because they have the same number of valence electrons. What is the relationship between alkali metals' location in group 1A? The reactivity of alkali metals increases from top of group 1A to the bottom. The alkali earth metals. Alkali earth metals are the elements in group 2A of the periodic table. Alkali earth metals have 2 valence electrons. Metals in group 2A are harder than metals in group 1A. The melting point for magnesium is 650 degrees Celsius, which is much higher than the melting point of sodium, which is 98 degrees Celsius. The differences in reactivity among the alkaline earth metals are shown by the way they react with water. Calcium, strontium, and barium react easily with cold water. Magnesium will react with hot water, but no change appears to occur when the beryllium is added to the water. Magnesium and calcium have essential biological functions, and they provide materials used in construction and transportation. Magnesium plays a role in the process that uses sunlight to produce sugar in plants, known as photosynthesis. The compound at the center of the process, chlorophyll, and the center is magnesium. A mixture of magnesium and other metals can be as strong as steel, but much lighter. Reducing the overall mass without sacrificing strength is an important consideration in transportation. The frames of bicycles and backpacks often contain magnesium. Calcium. Your body needs calcium to keep your bones and teeth strong. Calcium carbonate, a compound of calcium, carbon, and oxygen, is the main ingredient of chalk, limestone, and coral, and the pearl. The boron family. Group 3A contains metalloid boron, the well-known metal aluminum, and the 3 lesser familiar metals, gallium, indium, and thallium. All of these elements have 3 valence electrons. A compound of boron, silicon, and oxygen is used to make a type of glass that does not shatter easily when it undergoes rapid temperature change. Glass that contains boron is used to make laboratory glassware such as flasks. It also is used in cookware that can go directly from the oven to the refrigerator. Aluminum. Aluminum is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. Aluminum often combines with oxygen found in a mineral called bauxite. People are encouraged to recycle aluminum because the energy needed to purify recycled aluminum is only about 5% of the energy needed to extract aluminum from bauxite. The carbon family. Group 4A contains nonmetal carbon, 2 metalloids, silicon and germanium, and 2 metals, tin and lead. Each element has 4 valence electrons. Notice that the metallic nature of the elements increases from top to bottom within the group. So germanium is a better conductor of electricity than silicon. Group 5A contained 2 nonmetals, nitrogen and phosphorus, 2 metalloids, arsenic and antimony, and 1 metal, bismuth. Nitrogen and phosphorus are the most important elements in Group 5A. Group 5A includes elements with a wide range of physical properties. Despite their differences, all the elements in Group 5A all have 5 valence electrons. When air is cooled, the oxygen condenses before the nitrogen because nitrogen has a lower boiling point than oxygen. Much of nitrogen obtained in the air is used to produce fertilizers. Besides nitrogen, fertilizers often contain phosphorus. Your body uses compounds containing nitrogen and phosphorus to control reactions and release energy from food. The oxygen family. Group 6A has 3 nonmetals, oxygen, sulfur, and selenium, and 2 metalloids, beryllium and polonium. All the elements in Group 6A have 6 valence electrons. I hope you're seeing the relationship between the group and the amount of valence electrons that are there. Oxygen is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust. Complex forms of life require oxygen to release energy stored in food. Oxygen can be stored as a liquid under pressure in oxygen tanks. There must be no spark or flames near oxygen tanks because materials that are flammable burn easily in pure oxygen. Ozone is another form of the element oxygen. At ground level, ozone can irritate your eyes and lungs. At upper levels of the atmosphere, the ozone absorbs harmful radiations emitted by the sun. Sulfur was one of the first elements to be discovered because it was found in large natural deposits. The main use of sulfur is to make sulfuric acid. 65% of the sulfuric acid produced is used to make fertilizers. The halogens. Halogens are elements in Group 7A. Each halogen has 7 valence electrons. Fluorine and chlorine are gases. Bromine is a liquid that evaporates quickly, and iodine is a solid that sublimes. Despite their physical differences, the halogens have similar chemical properties. They are highly reactive nonmetals, with fluorine being the most reactive, chlorine a close second. Halogens react easily with most metals. Fluorine is a compound that is used to prevent tooth decay. Some nonstick pans are coated with fluorine compound. The sharp smell that comes from bleach is from a small amount of chlorine gas. Chlorine is used to kill bacteria in drinking water and swimming pools. Iodine is needed to keep your thyroid gland working properly. This gland controls the speed at which reactions occur in the body. Seafood is a great source of iodine. Salt that has iodine compounds added to it is called iodized salt. Noble gases. Noble gases are elements in Group 8A. Helium has 2 valence electrons, and the other noble gases have 8 valence electrons. The noble gases are colorless, odorless, and extremely unreactive. It is not easy to discover a colorless, odorless gas. It is even harder if the gas rarely reacts. Scientists discovered argon. They noticed that the density of nitrogen collected from the air did not match the density of nitrogen during chemical changes. However, the element that does not react easily with other elements can be very useful. For example, during one stage in the process of making computer chips, pure silicon is heated in a furnace at 1480 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, silicon reacts with both oxygen and nitrogen. So, heating takes place in an argon-rich atmosphere. Argon is used in light bulbs to extend the life of the bulb so that the filament doesn't burn out. All the noble gases except radon are used in neon lights. Concept check number 2. Why is hydrogen located in a group with reactive metals? Why is aluminum recycled? And why is chlorine added to drinking water? This would be a great time to pause the video, answer the questions to the best of your ability, and then resume play. Concept check number 2. Why is hydrogen located in a group with reactive metals? Hydrogen is placed with other elements that have a single valence electron. Why is aluminum recycled? The energy needed to purify recycled aluminum is only about 5% of the energy needed to extract aluminum from bauxite. 3. Why is chlorine added to drinking water? To kill bacteria in the drinking water.